everyone. I am Sandeep Kumar Singh, Senior Assistant Professor, School of Pharmacy, Babu Banarsidass University, Lucknow. Today, I am here to represent my views about very fascinating and important topic of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, that is drug metabolism. The overview of my presentation is introductory part, then phase of drug metabolism, then phase first metabolism, cytochrome P family, basically cytochrome 450 P family, then phase second metabolism, first pass metabolism, macrosomal enzyme induction, and the role of metabolism in drug discovery process. I, I would like to start with the introductory part of my presentation. Basically, the onset of pharmacological response of drug depends upon two pharmacokinetic processes. First is the drug absorption, and the second is the drug distribution. Since most site of action are in the extravascular tissue, the duration and intensity of action depend upon the tissue redistribution of drug and the rate of drug removal from the body or site of action, that is the rate of elimination. Basically, elimination is the major process for removal of a drug from the body and terminate of its action. It is defined as the irreversible loss of drug from the body. Elimination occurs by the two processes, by the biotransformation and excretion. Biotransformation. Biotransformation of drug is defined as the chemical conversion of one form to another, basically in the body, that convert non-polar or lipid soluble compound to polar or lipid insoluble compound. The term is also used for biotransformation is the metabolism. The chemical changes are usually effected enzymatically in the body and thus definitions exclude chemical instability of drug within the body. For example, conversion of penicillin to penicilloic acid by the bacterial penicillase and mammalian enzyme is metabolism, but it degradation by the stomach acid to penicillinic acid is chemical instability. Basically, enzymes are typically involved in the metabolism or biotransformation of drug. The chemical modification of drug with the overall goal of getting rid of the drug from the body. Consequences of biotransformation. In case of the biotransformation, the active drug is converted to the inactive metabolite, such as in case of the pentobarbital, morphine, or chloramphenicol drug. Or sometimes active drugs convert into the active metabolite, such as in case of the phenacetin, or inactive drug may be converted to the active metabolite like levodopa. The drug metabolizing organs, basically following organs or tissues are involved for the metabolism of drug such as liver, brain, kidney, lungs, and intestine. With the next slide, what is the need of drug metabolism? Basically, all chemical substances that are not nutrients for the body and enter the body through ingestion, inhalation, or absorption are called as xenobiotics. Xenobiotics, that is, the xeno means foreign material. Drugs are also xenobiotics which enter the body by virtue of their lipophilicity. It is interesting to note that for effective absorption, a drug need to be sufficient lipid solubility. But it is this same physicochemical property that enable it to bypass excretion. This is because only water-soluble agents undergo renal excretion, the major route for excretion of the drug from the body. Whereas lipid-soluble substances are passively reabsorbed from the renal tubules into the blood and after glomerular filtration. Thus, if such a phenomenon continues, drugs would accumulate in the body and precipitate toxic reaction. However, to prevent such a consequence, the body is armed with the metabolic system which transfer the water-insoluble or lipophilic or non-polar drug into polar and water-soluble product that can be easily excreted by the kidney and are poorly reabsorbed. Absorbed. Thus, drug biotransformation is also known as detoxification process. Basically, two type of metabolizing enzymes are involved for the biotransformation, that are the microsomal enzymes and non-microsomal enzymes. As well as liver is the primary site for the metabolism of almost all drugs because of its relative richness in processing a large variety of enzymes in the large amount. The metabolizing organs other than liver, that are called as extrahepatic metabolism, is of minor importance and since their lower level of drug metabolizing enzyme. The other organs which are involved for the metabolism like lungs, kidney, intestine, placenta, adrenal and skin. The brain, testes, muscles and spleen also metabolize the drug but a little extent. The microsomal enzymes catalyze the majority of drug biotransformation reaction. The microsome are basically artifacts which resulted when attempts were first made to isolate endoplasmic reticulum of the liver homogenate. These vesicular fragments or microsomes are derived from rough endoplasmic reticulum. Some important characteristics of microsomal enzymes are the intact nature of lipid membrane bound enzymes of the microsome is essential for its selectivity towards lipid soluble substances. A number of lipid soluble substances known as xenobiotics can interact non-specifically with the microsomal enzyme. The natural endogenous substances which are generally water soluble do not interact. The lipid soluble substances biotransform into a water soluble metabolite by the microsomal enzymes which can be easily excreted from the body. The non-microsomal enzymes include those that are present in the soluble form in the cytoplasm and those attached to the mitochondria but not to endoplasmic reticulum. These are also non-specific enzymes that catalyze few oxidative reactions, a number of reductive and hydrolytic reactions and conjugation reactions other than glucuronidation. It is interesting to note that in contrast to microsomal enzymes, the non-microsomal enzymes, especially the soluble enzymes, act on relatively water-soluble xenobiotics such as oxidase, peroxidase, dehydrogenase, and esterase enzymes. Product. Products are the active drug which is converted to the active metabolite. Then what is the advantage? It increases the absorption, elimination of unpleasant taste, decrease the toxicity, decrease the metabolic inactivation and increase the chemical stability. Now comes on phase of drug metabolism. Basically two types of drug are metabolized by the phase first metabolism process or by the phase second metabolism process. The phase 1 reactions generally precede phase second reaction and include the oxidative, reductive or hydrolytic reactions. The primary objective of the phase 1 reaction is increase in hydrophilicity. By way of this reaction, a polar functional group is either introduced or unmasked if already present on the otherwise lipid soluble substances such as hydroxyl group, carboxyl group, amino group, and sulfur group. Thus, phase 1 reaction is also called as functionalization reactions. It also converts the parent drug to the more polar part, the metabolite by introducing or unmasking a functional group, as we have already discussed. It also reduces the stability, thus enabling reaction with cellular component, facilitating the conjugation. The resulting product of phase 1 reaction is susceptible to phase second reaction that make the xenobiotic highly water soluble, which can be easily excreted out from the body. Then comes on the phase second reaction. These reactions generally involve covalently attachment of small polar endogenous molecules such as gluconic acid, sulfate, glycine to either unchanged drug or phase 1 product having suitable functional groups such as hydroxyl, carboxyl, amino or sulfur group and form highly water soluble conjugate which are rapidly excreted by the kidney or bile. Thus these reactions are called as conjugation reactions. The phase 1 reaction may not yield a metabolite that is sufficient hydrophilicity or pharmacologically inert, but conjugation reactions generally result in product with the total loss of pharmacological activity and highly polarity. Hence, phase second reactions are better known as true detoxification reactions. Since these reactions generally involve transfer of moiety to the substrate to be conjugated, the enzyme responsible are called as transferase. Sometimes phase third reaction is the failure to remove the product of phase second reaction can lead to the toxicity of conjugate to various cell component or hydrolysis of conjugate back to the original reactive species or inhibition of phase second enzymes. This slide represents the phase of metabolism by phase 1 that is known as functionalization and phase second that is known as conjugation reaction. Phase 1 is further processed by the oxidation or reduction or hydroelectric reaction or phase second is further processed by the addition of gluconic acid, sulfate, glycine and other amino acid or glutathione or mercaptopuric acid or acetylation or methylation of the drug. The oxidation in case of the phase 1 reaction, the oxidation, reduction and hydrolytic reactions occurs comes on the phase first reaction. Basically, phase 1 reaction is occurred by the oxidation process, reduction process, hydrolysis process, cyclization or decyclization process. Oxidation. Oxidative reactions are the most important and most common metabolic reaction. Almost all drugs that undergo phase first biotransformation undergo oxidation at some stage of or the other. A simple reason for the oxidation being a predominant reaction is that energy in animals is primarily derived by the oxidative combustion of organic molecules containing carbon and hydrogen atoms. The oxidative reaction increases hydrophilicity of xenobiotics by introducing polar functional groups such as hydroxyl group. Such a polar metabolites can thus rapidly undergo phase second reaction or excreted by the kidney. Basically, addition of oxygen or negatively charged radical or removal of hydrogen or positively charged radical is known as the oxidation. The reactions are carried out by the group of monooxygenase enzymes present in the liver. The final step involved that is the involvement of the cytochrome P450 enzymes that is hemoprotein, NADPH and cytochrome P450 reductase and oxygen. The multi-enzyme mixed function oxidase system located in the endoplasmic reticulum of hepatic cells is composed of electron transfer chain consists of three components. The heme protein that is known as the cytochrome P450 which is actually a family of alkyl amino group is further oxidized to addition of the hydroxyl OH group. In case of the chlorphenamine, diazone and mepridine. Then oxidation of sulfur atom where the hydrogen is removed by the oxygen. In case of the chlorpromazine and chlorphenol. Next is the aliphatic hydroxylation. Hydroxyl group added to the drug. The example is salicylic acid to gentisic acid, or in case of ibuprofen, or 12-butamine propamide. Where the alkyl, in case of the alkyl chain, the hydroxyl group is added to form the alcohol. Or in case of the aromatic hydroxylation, where the ring OH group is added. In case of the phenytoin, phenobarbital, and propanol. Comes on the next slide, that is the dealkylation at oxygen atom. That is known as the oxygen dealkylation. This reaction is also similar to N-dealkylation and the proceed by alpha carbon hydroxylation to form an unstable hemiacetal or hemiketal intermediate which spontaneously undergoes to carbon oxygen bond cleavage to form the alcohol. This is basically important for the phenacetin to paracetamol conversion. The next is the dealkylation at the nitrogen atom. That is known as the N-dealkylation. The alkyl group attached directly to nitrogen atom in nitrogen bearing compound are capable of undergoing N-dealkylation reactions such as secondary and tertiary aliphatic and aromatic amines, tertiary alicyclic amines, and N-substituted amides and hydrogens. Since N-dealkylation of amines yield amines and amides yield amides, the reaction is said to undergo without any change in the state of oxidation. It is, however, the removal of alkyl group that is oxidized. Mechanism of N-dealkylation involve oxidation of alpha carbon to generate an intermediate carbinolamine which rearranged by cleavage of carbon-nitrogen bond to yield the N-dealkylated product and corresponding carbonyl of alkyl group. A primary alkyl is transformed to aldehyde and a secondary alkyl to ketone. The example is the amitriptyline to nortriptyline. Comes on the next oxidation process, that is the dealkylation at sulfur atom. That is the S dealkylation. The mechanism of S dealkylation of thioethers is analog of N dealkylation. That is, it is proceed by alpha carbon hydroxylation. Thus, carbon sulfur bond cleavage result in formation of thiol RSH and a carbonyl product. In case of the 6-methyl mercaptopurine to mercaptopurine. The next is the oxidative deamination. In case of the oxidative deamination, this reaction also proceeds via the carbinolamine pathway, but there are here the carbon nitrogen bond cleavage occurs at the bond that links amino group to larger portion of the drug molecule. The example is the amphetamine, which is converted into the phenyl acetone and ammonia. Next is desulfation. In case of desulfation, sulfur group is removed by the oxygen. In case of the parathion to parazone. The next phase 1 metabolism process, that is the hydrolysis, that is known as the hydrolytic reactions. The reaction is differ from oxidative process by the following respect. The reaction does not involve change in the state of oxidation of the substrate. The reaction results in the large chemical changes in the substrate brought about by the loss of relatively large fragment of the molecule. Or the hydrolytic enzymes that metabolize xenobiotics are the ones that also act on endogenous substances. Moreover, their activity is not confined to liver as they are found in many other organs like kidney and intestine. A number of functional groups are hydrolyzed such as esters, ethers, amides, and hydrazides. The cleavage of the molecule by taking up a molecule of water The main site is the liver, intestine, plasma, and other tissues. The example is choline esters, procaine, isoniazid, pethidine, and oxytocin. Esters on hydrolysis yield alcohol and carboxylic acid. The reaction is catalyzed by the esterase enzyme. Now comes on the reductive reactions. The bioreduction are also capable of generating polar functional groups such as hydroxyl and amino which can undergo further biotransformation or conjugation. A number of reductive reactions are exact opposite of the oxidation. For example, alcohol dehydrogenase is converted into the carbonyl reduction, or N-oxidation is converted into amine oxide reduction. Thus, in this sense, bioreduction comprises one of reversible reactions. Such reaction may be catalyzed by the same enzyme that are true reversible reactions or different enzymes that are the apparent reversible reactions. This is the representation of reductive defluorination of halothane. Since reversible reactions usually lead to conversion of inactive metabolite into active drug, they may result in delay of drug removal from the body, hence prolongation of action. The reduction of carbonyls depend on their reactivity towards bioreduction. Carbonyls can be divided into three categories: the aliphatic aldehyde and ketones, the aromatic aldehyde and ketones, and the esters, acid and amides. The order of reactivity of these category of drug in undergo reduction is first is the aliphatic aldehyde and ketone, followed by the aromatic aldehyde and ketone, and third is the esters, acid and amides. Next is the cyclization. It is the formation of ring structure from a straight chain compound, such as in case of the proguanil. And decyclization. It is the opening up of a ring structure of the cyclic drug molecule, such as the barbiturates and phenytoin. As we have already discussed the two type of drug metabolizing enzymes involved for the biotransformation that are the macrosomal and non-macrosomal. The macrosomal enzymes are the CYP450 or UDPGT, or non-macrosomal enzymes are the lipoproteins, oxidase and esterase. The non-macrosomal oxidations, basically these are the present of the mitochondrial enzymes, cytoplasmic enzymes, and plasma oxidative enzymes. The mitochondrial enzymes are the monoamine oxidase, which are used to oxidative deamination of adenylene, 5-ST, and tyramine. The cytoplasmic enzymes are basically dehydrogenases, which are used for the alcohol oxidation to aldehydes and acetic acid. The plasma oxidative enzymes are histaminase and xanthine oxidase. Comes from the cytochrome P450 enzymes. These are the monooxygenase enzyme family. These are the major catalysts for the drug endogenous compound oxidation in the liver, kidney, GI tract, skin, and lungs. The oxidative reaction required that are the CYP heme protein, the reductase, NADPH, and phosphatidylcholine, and molecules of oxygen. Basically, the location of these enzymes are smooth endoplasmic reticulum in close association with the NADPH CYP reductase in the 10:1 ratio. The reductase serve as the electron source for the oxidative reaction cycle. The cytochrome P4 family are the multiple gene family have been identified in human and categorized based on their protein sequence homology. The most of the metabolizing enzymes are in the CYP first, second, and third family. Frequently, two or more enzymes can catalyze the same type of oxidation, indicating reductant and broad substrate specificity. The CYP3A4 is the very most common to the metabolism of many drugs. It presents in the GI tract, is responsible for poor oral availability of many drugs. The tabular form of the cytochromes types which are responsible for the metabolism of many drugs like CYP 1A1, 1A2, 2A6, 2B6, CYP2C family, that is further characterized into CYP2C9, 2C19, 2C8, 2C11, then CYP2E1, CYP2D6, CYP3A4, in which CYP1A1 and CYP1A2 are basically used for the metabolism of caffeine, testosterone, warfarin. CYP1A2 is responsible for the metabolism of caffeine, phenacetin, and warfarin. CYP2A6 is responsible for the metabolism of testosterone. CYP2B6 are responsible for the metabolism of erythromycin, testosterone, and CYP2E1 is responsible for the metabolism of chlorhexazone, halothane, acetaminophen. And as we know, the CYP2C family is further categorized into CYP2C9, 19, 8, 11. This is metabolized the various type of drugs like acetaminophen, tolbutamide, hexabarbital, warfarin, phenytoin, and so on. While the CYP3A4 is the most abundant enzyme present in the CYP liver, which is responsible for the metabolism of most of the drugs. Non-CYP drug oxidation, that are the monoamine oxidase, D-amine oxidase, the MAO, mitochondrial oxidative deaminates endogenous substrates including the neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, and the alcohol and aldehyde dehydrogenase like non-specific enzyme found in the soluble fraction of liver and is responsible for the metabolism of ethanol, and the flavin monooxygenase that require the oxygen molecule, NADPH, and flavin adenosine dinucleotide FAD for the metabolism of the drug. On the phase second reactions. Basically, phase second reactions involve transfer of a suitable endogenous moiety such as gluconic acid, sulfate, glycine, glutathione in the presence of enzyme like transferase to drug or metabolite of phase first reaction having suitable functional group to form the highly polar or easily excretable and pharmacological inert conjugates. Basically, the phase second reaction are the real drug detoxification pathway because the conjugates or products of phase second reaction are absolutely free of pharmacological activity, as well as the products of phase second reactions are highly polar and thus easily excreted either in bile or via urine. The tissue reactive and carcinogenic metabolites formed as a result of his first reaction are rendered harmless by conjugation with the moiety such as glutathione. As well as the in case of the phase second reactions, they are simple. The form conjugating reagents having the three characteristics, that are they are simple endogenous molecules such as carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. They are large molecular size. They are strongly polar or ionic in nature in order to render the substrate water soluble. The two outstanding characteristics of conjugation reactions are the reaction involved in initial activation step. Either drug is activated like conjugation with the amino acid and acetylation reaction, or conjugating reagent is activated such as glucuronidation, sulfation, or methylation. In case of the conjugation reaction, it increases the molecular weight, inactive the drug, and excreted in urine, bile, or feces. Hence, phase second reaction need the energy. Comes on the gluconide conjugation, also called as the conjugation with the gluconic acid. It is the most common and most important phase second reaction for several reasons because these are the readily available source of conjugating moiety like D-gluconic acid which is derived from the D-glucose. Several functional groups like alcohol acid amines can combine easily with the D-gluconic acid. The quantitatively conjugation with the D-gluconic acid occur to a high degree. All mammals have the common ability to produce the gluconide. The free carboxyl function of gluconic acid has a pK in the range of 3.5 to 4, hence ionizable at both plasma and urine pH, thereby greatly increase the water solubility of the conjugated substrate. The gluconidation enzymes are in close association with the microsomal function oxidase, the major phase first drug metabolizing enzyme system, thus a rapid conjugation of phase 1 metabolite is possible. The gluconation can take place in most body tissue since gluconic acid donor UDPGA is produced in process related to glycogen synthesis and thus will never be deficient unlike those involved in other phase second reaction. Now comes on the acetylation. This is combination for aromatic amines and sulfonamides. It requires the cofactor that is known as the acetyl cofactor A. It is responsible enzyme in N-acetyl transferase. The important in sulfonamide metabolism because acetyl sulfonamide are less soluble than the parent compound and may cause renal toxicity due to the precipitation in the kidney. The acetylation is basically occur with the sulfonamides, isoniazid and hydralazine. Now comes on the sulfate conjugation. It is the major pathway for phenols but also occurs for alcohols, amines and thiols. The sulfate conjugates can be hydrolyzed back to the parent compound by various sulfatase enzymes. The sulfur conjugation play an important role in the hepatotoxicity and carcinogenicity of the N-hydroxyl aryl amides. The infants and young children have predominating O-sulfate conjugation. The example include the methyl dopa, albuterol, terbutaline, acetaminophen, and phenacetin. Now comes on the amino acid conjugation. It is the ATP dependent acid that is coenzyme ligase form active coenzyme amino acid conjugate which then react with the drug by an acetylation. The usual amino acid involved are the glycine, glutamines, ornithine, and arginine. The glutathione conjugation. The glutathione is a protective factor for removal of potentially toxic compound. The conjugated compounds can subsequently be attacked by the G-glutamyl transpeptidase and peptidase to yield the cysteine conjugate. That is, the increase the product can be further acylated to an acetylcysteine conjugate. The example is paracetamol. The glutathione conjugation differs from the other conjugation reaction in that the process does not require initial activation of the coenzyme or the substrate since the GSS, which is nucleophile itself, is highly reactive toward an electrophilic substrate. The interaction between the substrate and the glutathione is catalyzed by enzyme glutathione S transferase to form a substituted glutathione conjugate. This conjugate is not excreted as such in the urine but undergo cleavage first by the enzyme L-gamma glutamyl transpeptidase to release the free glutamyl residue and cysteine glycine derivative. The latter is cleavage by enzyme cysteine glycinase to produce the free glycine and cysteine conjugate. Finally, N-acetylation of this conjugate by the enzyme N-acetylase yields the as-substituted N-acetyl cysteine product called as mercapturic acid. Hoffman elimination. The inactivation of the drug in the body fluid by some spontaneous molecular rearrangement without the agency of an enzyme is known as the Hoffman elimination. The example is the etracurium. This slide represents the comparison of phase first and phase second reactions. See, in case of the phase first reaction, the reaction involved are the oxidation, reductions, and hydrolysis. In case of the phase second, the reactions are the conjugations. Phase first reaction increase the hydrophilicity in small extent, but phase second reactions increase in hydrophilicity of the drug at large extent. Generally, in case of the phase first reaction, the general mechanism is the exposure of functional group, and in case of the phase second reaction, the polar compound such as the gluconic acid sulfate are added to the functional group. In case of the phase first reaction, it may result in metabolic activation, and phase second reaction it facilitates the excretion of the drug. Now comes on the first pass metabolism. Basically, the metabolism of drug during its passage from the site of absorption into the systemic circulation is known as the first pass metabolism. Generally, the first pass metabolism occurs in the liver, and the first pass metabolism extent of first pass metabolism differ in different drugs. This is the tabulated form for the extent of first pass metabolism of important drugs, basically which is low for the phenobarbital, phenylbutazone, tolbutamine, and it is intermediate in case of the aspirin, quinidine, and high not which are not given orally because the first pass metabolism or occur for the oral administered drug. In case of the which are not very high, like the lignocaine, hydrocortisone, testosterone, isoprenaline, these drugs cannot be given orally because they having the very high first pass metabolism. And sometimes we can increase the dose of drug which are given orally, like propranolol, alpranolol, verapamil, salbutamol, because they also have the high first pass metabolism effect. The first pass metabolism, basically the oral dose is considerably higher than sublingual or parenteral dose. Marked individual variation in the oral dose due to the difference in the extent of first pass metabolism. In some cases, some individuals have the high first pass metabolism showing as compared to other individuals. Oral variability is apparently increased in patients with the severe liver disease. The oral variability of drug is increased with another drug competing with it, like chlorpromazine and propranolol. Now comes on the inhibition of metabolism. The competitively inhibit the metabolism of another drug if it utilizes the same enzyme or cofactor, that is known as the inhibition of metabolism. Basically, a drug may inhibit one isoenzyme while being itself a substrate of another isoenzyme. Like quinidine is metabolized by CYP3A4, but it inhibits the CYP2D6 family. The inhibition of drug metabolism occurs in dose-related manner and can precipitate toxicity of the object drug. How? Sometimes when the two drugs are given simultaneously and one drug is inhibitor of the another drug which are metabolized by the particular cytochrome, then it increase the level of that drug and then cause the toxicity of particular drug. The blood flow limited the drug metabolism, such as propranolol reduce the rate of lignocaine metabolism by decreasing the hepatic blood flow. Comes on the macrosomal enzyme inductions. Basically, certain drugs such as Insecticides and carcinogens increase the synthesis of microsomal enzyme protein, which ultimately increase the metabolism of the many drugs. The different inducers are relatively selective for certain cytochrome P450 enzyme family like phenobarbital, rifampin, glucocorticoids induce the CYP3A isoenzymes, as well as the isoniazid and chronic alcohol consumption induce the CYP2E1 enzymes. And induction takes place generally 4 to 14 days to reach its peak, and it's maintained till the inducing agent is present. The basic consequence of induction is it decrease the intensity or increase the intensity of action of drug, or it cause the auto-induction, the precipitation of acute intermittent porphyria. It interferes with the adjustment of dose of another drug. It interferes with the chronic toxicity. The possible use of induction like congenital non-hemolytic anemia, Cushing syndrome. On the role of metabolism in drug discovery. Basically, in case of drug development process, it is the metabolism is important to have an information of enzyme responsible for the metabolism of candidate drug. Basically, the different in vitro studies can be performed, such as the metabolic stability, which are used for the check the stability of compound in the particular microsome, that is maybe the rat, mice, rabbit, or human microsomes. Then we check the metabolite profile, how the drug is metabolized and what are the metabolite form. Then check the metabolite identification. Then CYP inhibition or induction reactions, as well as the CYP phenotyping reactions, in which the which type of CYP are responsible for the metabolism of particular drug, and the which and drug sometimes a drug which inhibit the CYPs, that is, comes under the study of CYP inhibition and phenotyping reactions. Then drug-drug interactions occur. These studies are performed to check the drug-drug interaction by inhibiting or metabolizing the drug, or CYP isoform identifications. All about the biotransformation or metabolism. Now, in next presentation, we will discuss about the factors which influencing the metabolism or biotransformation. Thank you.